One. We're back, Jane. It is episode 10.0 of our pilot season of the Sisterhood. Tell us your story. The Sisterhood has morphed. I keep referring to it as the Sisterhood, period. And, I'm so excited for this week because we already had 18 phone calls and your one-liners are right on freaking point. Also, I would like to add that Jane has a Christmas shirt on.
Wait, first, when we were doing our pre-show, make sure we have our shit together. Jenny comes on with the dueling leopards, and
they're cougars, Jane, because I am one.
Oh shit! I didn't even give you credit where credit is due.
That's right.
I have a story about that. Anyhow, but I said to her, "You're not going to believe this because we did not plan this." And I'm wearing my bah humpug.
Wait, let me show you. I have my red pants on.
Woo! Christmas.
I'm actually Madison, Blake's girlfriend. Her parents invited us over. We're having a little Christmas party. Super excited. So, hence the outfit, because we had already talked about maybe doing a show potentially Christmas morning or something like that. We'll figure it out. Yeah. But wearing our Christmas jammies, that's still a go. Okay, and I am still drinking coffee because I only had one of these today. Mm-hmm.
I have my turtle cup today that says, slow down and enjoy life.
Ooh.
Trying to remind myself of the little things.
I am realizing more and more, and that's part of our divine feminine energy that we embody, slowing down. When our masculine energy steps in, that's when we try to speed shit up. And I am really trying to balance that because I have looked back at the last 46 years of my life and realized I was sitting in my masculine energy, and I'm so fucking enjoying being the divine feminine bitch that I am.
Well, I've only been here for a cool 45, so obviously I don't have the...
Quit bragging.
I don't have the insight from your years of experience over time.
Okay, Jane, how was your week?
I would love to say that I would like to find my feminine energy. I feel like my need to type A everything makes it really hard, but I'm working on it.
You know what? Type A is still part of the divine feminine. We get shit done. The thing is, rest is so important because it lets us look inside and internalize and really get to know ourselves. And I got to tell you, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, I literally this week had a day that I had to go to work late because I had the company coming to do the walkthrough with me for the basement.
Yeah.
Because they're getting started on that to get Mom's apartment back.
Today, bitches! Woo!
Yeah, they're down there right now. But anyhow, I had an appointment, so I had to meet with them, and then I still had to go into the office. And so by the time I got to the office, it was almost noon, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was so, I had already been up since 5:30, so it was already a long day. And then I was at the office that night until 7:30. So by the time I got home, and I was starving on the way home, I hadn't eaten anything all day. And so I stopped and picked up Mei Fun, the rice noodles from a Chinese place
nice.
that we like over there. And it has a lot of chicken in it. And so this has never happened to me in my Type A life. But I literally got a tray and I brought it up and I put my pajamas on and I got in bed and I ate 3 bites and then I brought it down and put it in the fridge because I was too tired to even eat.
Oh my God.
And then I went to bed.
Jane, you need rest.
I literally ate dinner in bed. I mean, 3 bites of dinner, but still, I've never done that before because I just think it's food doesn't really belong there and I don't really deal with
Type B over here. I love eating in bed. And it's interesting because I was chatting with my girlfriend this morning. Sigs, what's up? You made my morning. She sent me a wicked cute pair of jeans, a picture, and she said they reminded her of me and I'm gonna buy them. Anyway, so before 1/1/2025, when I go on lockdown, but
January includes spending. Yeah.
We both agree our favorite place is our bed. She may or may not eat in her bed, but I love a good snack in bed. I love a good smorgasbord in bed.
I literally am I don't know. It was so out of character for me that I just was what has my life come to?
No, Jane, embrace that. It's okay to eat in your freaking bed. It's not like you'll have crumbs because I'm sure you freaking had that shit on lockdown.
I had a tray.
Exactly.
So everything stayed on the tray and I ate over it and all that. But still, I just was It was just that just spoke to how tired I was. I literally got 3 bites in and I was like, I'm done. Put the lid on it, brought it down, put it in the fridge, cleaned up the tray, put it away, came back up, laid down, and I don't think I was awake for long after that. I was
Well,
just
you also had
late.
your Christmas party for work this week.
Yeah, I had that last night.
How was it?
And it was nice. We went to a really nice like steakhouse
Yeah.
in Atlanta. And it's really nice. Like the owner of my company really likes a lot of like fine wines and things like that. And so he always orders like bottles of really good wine. And so I always have 1 or 2 glasses while I'm with them because I never have a headache the next day from it.
That's
But
the
I
good
think
quality
that's what
wine right
happens
there.
when you pay $300 a bottle. That's what you get, I guess.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
exactly.
know. That does not. And I got one of those. Oh, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a battery charger, so you can jump your car with it. You can
Oh,
inflate your
cool.
tires with it. It's got like lights that you can use for like crisis on the side of the road. I don't know. It like does all these things. I
Yeah.
forget the name of it, but they're expensive, like a couple $100, and that's what they gave us for Christmas this year. And I was thinking to myself, like, my boss was saying, or the owner of the company was saying, and you be careful leaving those in the trunk because when you go to the car wash, they'll steal, they'll get stolen when you go to the like full service car wash. And I was like, I wash my own car. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Again, $300 bottle of wine
Again,
and get your
this is
car
not,
serviced.
that's not the
Meanwhile,
life I
we're
live.
scrubbing. Yeah.
I'm far too cheap
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I like a good little sweat workout cleaning my car.
Yeah. And I also
Therapeutic.
like, I'm not saying in a pinch I wouldn't mind somebody else doing it. I wouldn't, it would be fine, but I just would never, like, in my life, I wouldn't be like, that's money worth spending. I'd rather do it
Yeah.
with something.
Yeah. I
Find
agree.
somewhere else to spend it. Because I can do it myself just as well. But again, there goes my type A.
Yeah.
I'll just do it myself. I can do it better.
Yeah. You're right.
And it's
Also, I
free.
freaking guarantee you, if you did the full service, you'd find something that you'd have to clean after them just because they wouldn't do it your way. And we all know Jane has a specific way of doing things.
I do.
Yes, you do. So my week, all right, I thought to get my last braces tightening, which by the way, ibuprofen all week because my freaking jaw was swollen.
Yeah.
But instead they surprised me. I have to go back in 8 weeks and get another tightening, or adjustment or whatever you call it. But this time they took my bottom, oh shit, I have a couple things that happened. They took my bottom wire out and they know I'm like one of the oldest people that ever go to the orthodontist. And so they know like I'm chomping at the bit to get a good floss in once they get my wires out, when they have to take wires out. And they let me go to this little station and like brush my teeth. So I go over there, I brush my teeth. Unbeknownst to me, I also lost my freaking $100 diamond bezel that goes in my nose. And it's pure gold because I am sensitive, my skin. So anyway, I think what happened was I was brushing my teeth, and when I used a paper towel after, because it was like they had harder paper towels this time, I think I pulled it out and threw it out. Well, by the time I realized it, they'd already taken the trash out. I ordered a new one right then and there through Etsy, my lady that I love. And this is the second time I've done this in a couple of weeks. When I had a Secret Santa situation, and I ordered my person off Amazon his gift, had it sent to his house. I was Jenny on the spot. I got that shit done day 2 because I hate being procrastinating and then someone doesn't get their gift and whatever. I also sent our pool pump to California because I left his address as our main address. And so bring it back to the bezel. I also sent my bezel that got delivered and Blaine went out to the mailbox because I'm like, Blaine, will you run out and get it for me? These like, what's it called? Like, unlike your ears that you can keep earrings out of and put them back in and they're always open, your nose closes so fast, like 4 days. And so I was stressed and I sent it to fucking Dina in California because she's the last person I sent a gift to on Etsy. So poor Dina and poor Anthony had to go out of their way to send, packages back. But anyways, so I'm wearing a hoop and I gotta admit at work, I'm uncomfortable with it. Anyone else wearing a hoop at work, no judgment at all. I just feel like my little bezel, so just a little bit of hint of glimmer, just enough. And I feel like I can get away with that at work. There isn't a policy for that. But so anyways, I had to go get a lady had to put it in. She actually had to put the nose ring in for me because it had started to close.
Yeah.
And so back to the dentist, the orthodontist, come back, sit down, and he comes over and looks. He's like, I think we're going to need to do another adjustment in 8 weeks, which I just have to see this through because I've done all this work.
Yeah, you're almost there.
I'm almost there. But this time around, they used this freaking crazy ass rubber band that had like, I don't know how many teeth I have on the bottom, but however many brackets. They kept stretching it all the way from one side of my jaw to the other. And I was just in so much pain. But, you know, I can handle that. I got through it and I'm finally back. I still have a little like soreness in my gum from just it's actually the back of my lip from like a different material being on my lip. So I don't have a callus yet because these rubber bands are a little different. But anyway, so had that on Monday, got to go. I went into the office Tuesday, Wednesday. Got to hang with my girls and my buddy Mike Corley, who's also my boss. And we had a great 2 days in the office and we had dinners after. And so speaking of wine, we had a great wine on Wednesday night and delicious. Didn't have a hangover. It was wonderful. We kept it. We were minimalists with our alcohol, which is always good. And Jeff came to pick me up Wednesday night. So he got to meet some of my girl crew from work. And it was the first time for Mahak. I did have a slumber party with Mahak. We had a great time. So this week at work, and I was super productive in like spurts of time. I had a great week. I really did. And then I woke up this morning and I posted on Facebook because I couldn't help it because I woke up feeling like an immense amount of love. I cannot explain it. Like I kept crying. Tears were pouring down me. Then I heard from Sigler. That melted my heart. Then I heard from my friend Heather, who I did Optavia with. I just love her. She literally changed my life.
Yes.
And then I got a great workout in this morning. There was a chick that showed up. Eggy Mama, wherever you are, you definitely pushed me. I had the lead 15 minutes in. She freaking got past me. And then I chased her the rest of the ride. And Dina was on the ride with me too. The last minute of a ride, you're supposed to rest. Like you're bringing your temperature back down. Yeah. But I couldn't because she was ahead of me by like 8 output points. And I'm like, there's no way to get 8 points in a minute, but let me not let her crush me. But then that bitch pushed. So she was going, I was going, she was going, I was going. Dina's like, are you competing? I was in this race. Yeah. Yeah. And so anyway, I imagine this chick to have legs as long as a flagpole. And this is how I mentally handle losing a race. Yeah. But I will say this. She pushed me, and that's what I needed. And I pushed her because she went till the end, too, because you could see her numbers going. Nobody does that. Like, you're resting. Yeah. So, and then I had...
She's clearly WNBA player.
Exactly. That's what I imagine I was competing with today.
Of course, yeah.
So anyways, and here we are. And we got to have a couple conversations already today, so... Yeah.
We did. So this week at work for me, and I won't go into my entire feelings about this, but it's incredibly frustrating to me. The constant threats of government shutdown.
Oh, yeah.
Because people cannot get their fucking shit together.
Yeah.
And everything's got to be a political battle in football. And then when we do have an agreement, people got to come up and say some nonsense. And I mean, the thing for me is I used to work for the government, but I worked for the state.
Yeah.
So that didn't ever affect me because the state governments don't get furloughed. It's the feds. And
yeah.
So, but now I work for people that are on federal contracts. And so they do get, and they don't get furloughed. They just don't get paid. Like they get sat, they get benched, and then they don't get paid because.
Aren't they doctors?
The doctors generally don't get benched. It's like my ERs don't get benched because it's ER. Maybe like office doctors can get benched.
Yeah.
But not doctors that are like in the ERs or doing surgeries.
Life-saving. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have to be available. So those ones don't get benched. But the ones that do, it affects them. But even more so, like my other contractors that aren't doctors, that are maybe technicians of some kind or assistants or admins or paralegals or like this really is huge to them. Like and the amount of stress leading up to it for them to pass something at the last minute, and then you're so relieved. But it's like, why do we put them through that?
Yeah.
And why do we like it's not a big deal? And for the active duty out there that have to continue working without pay, they're going to get paid later, but they still have bills in the meantime.
Yeah.
Like
That
it's
that
just,
fucking
it's
sucks.
infuriating.
Yeah.
It is infuriating to me, and it causes so much stress, and it doesn't even directly affect me. Like I still get paid,
Yeah.
but the amount of just empathy and sympathy that I feel for the people that are going through that, and the conversations I have to have with them,
Yeah.
validating their feelings when there's literally nothing I can do because I can't
Do
manage Congress
anything. Yeah.
and do their jobs.
Right.
Like, and so I don't want to get into a whole political thing, but it is infuriating to me. And as an advocate, I just like there are days where I'm like, I need to run for office because this is fucking bullshit.
Jayne,
Like,
run for office.
I just enough like, and one person can't change it, but I think if you get enough like-minded people, in
One
there,
person can make small changes, and if all these people, all of us
it's
one people, make
infuriating.
these small changes, we can make big
Yeah.
changes.
And these are, I'm watching the tweets come out, shut it down. And I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah.
These are people that need to feed their kids, keep their electric on, pay their car notes. Like, how dare you?
Well,
Shut it
that
down.
tells me there's a lack of understanding in the whole process and how it affects us everyday people. I mean, not,
I just need people to vote, go
Yeah.
out and vote.
yeah,
Recognize this stuff is happening and go out and vote for I know nobody's perfect, the best that you can get. That's
Yeah.
what we got to vote for. And that's just the reality of our country. And
Yeah.
so that's how democracy works. You're not ever going to get perfection.
exactly.
So
Jayne,
anyhow, rant over.
random
But it was
question.
a very stressful
I'm sorry.
week because of that. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm sorry about that. We're 16 minutes in and we're just getting to the random question generator.
Sorry.
But it's because we missed each other, and the chemistry is hot today, so we're gonna take it for what it is. All right, what is something that
you do have your cougar sweater on.
I do.
So.
Oh my god, and I am feeling every ounce of a cougar today. But I'm not chasing younger men. They're just looking at me.
Right.
What is something that someone does that will immediately turn you off?
You go first.
Okay. My biggest thing, I freaking hate a bully. The minute I see that type of behavior, I'm going up against them. I'm sorry. No one gets to belittle other people, put them down, and make them feel bad for just being themselves. I cannot stand that. It literally, that does run fire through my veins, and I'll step up, and I can't help it, and I don't care what anyone thinks. How about you?
Okay. So if we're talking like big stuff, obviously I fully agree with that. The advocate in me just does not allow for that nonsense.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like just, I don't like, I have a really hard time with how to respond or react or engage with people when I feel like they can't empathize or even sympathize if empathy is too hard. With other people's situations, I have a really hard time with that because I just think that we would have a lot less problems if people would try to hear the other side or try to understand that just because it doesn't happen to you doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Yeah, walk in someone else's shoes and imagine what that would feel like.
Just in basic humanity, just recognizing like you don't have to go through it to know you don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
So by not validating other people's experiences and feelings, I just think, it's just not a good look.
Yeah.
And so,
it's not a good feel for your heart.
Yeah, and you can't see this right now because we're blurry until we post.
Is it sunshine rays?
The light
No.
coming through the window right now.
You look like an angel. I see it.
Of sunshine. Like
I literally had that in the back of my mind to tell you when you finished.
It's kind of crazy.
It's
like
an angel.
It looks like, I mean, I'll tell this story. So a long time ago, when I was with Olivia's dad, he used to like stand at the end of we had a long dark hallway at night. And at nighttime, when you turn off the lights, you couldn't see anything. It was pitch black.
Yeah.
And so I would walk down the halls to go to our bedroom and he would like grab me or jump out and scare me or whatever. But I couldn't, it was basically like walking down the hall with my eyes closed. It was that dark.
Yeah.
And so I would just be like feeling the wall to make sure I was making it to the bedroom door.
Yeah.
And he thought that was hilarious. And
fucking hate being scared.
Mad because I'd be like, why would you put me through that? And he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, one day he was in the bathroom in the shower and it was when we were just in a small apartment. And so we just had one bathroom. And So I went in to like pee real quick while he was in the shower.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was in there and I washed my hands and everything. And he opened the shower curtain and screamed like the loudest. And I was dying laughing because it startled him so much. And he was like, Jesus Christ, get a tan. You look like a ghost. I was like, they call that angelic where I'm from.
No way. Oh,
So
that's hilarious.
that's what that just made me think of when I saw the light coming
Yeah.
through like that. But sorry, back to the question. So
Yeah.
if we're talking about petty shit
Yeah.
that turns me off,
Yeah.
I can't stand it when people try to pretend they're animal people, but they're really not.
Oh, yeah.
And they like try to play with the animals or like
Animals,
for
no.
example, my animal is my son.
Yeah.
Who I didn't ever have a son, so I feel like he came to me in the form of a Shih Tzu named Bentley.
Yeah.
And so, but like sometimes when people have met him, people maybe that I dated or whatever, or maybe dated a little bit,
Yeah.
or considered dating, met him, and I saw the way that they interacted with him, and it seemed so forced and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That I was like, ew.
The X factor.
I wouldn't be able to live with that. So immediately I was like, ew.
Jane, I just thought of one more.
What?
I cannot fucking stand when we're on the road and there's these big, massive truck drivers out there that are just trying to get their shit to where we need it because our country, I don't know if we realize this or not, but rely on them. They're essential. And
COVID should have taught us
we're
that.
not patient and we don't let them in. And like, why? Why wouldn't you just, I slow the fuck down and I'm like,
go, yeah.
Please come in. Like, I just wish people could be more patient with that and like not want to like compete with them or make them think about what they're freaking driving.
Or race them.
Yeah,
like,
or race them. Yeah, or get annoyed because, you know, they're in a pinch to get in because everyone doesn't let them in. And then, you know, they have to and they have to force themselves in. So to all you truck drivers out there, I see you. I hear you. I feel you. I got you. I will always let you in.
And if you ever see Jenny's, what's your forerunner called?
Oh, well, I did call him Bader at first. The kids took that to a thing that I didn't need it to be at because they were calling him Master Bader, and it just found, I just couldn't handle that. So I switched it to Luna. She's definitely a girl, but she is the moon.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so truck drivers, if you ever see Luna Masturbator out there, let us know.
Jane, I'll kick your ass. Oh, all right.
Just know she's going to let you in. Oh, did you hear that?
Oh my God, I'm going to kick your ass. Jane, you're really towing the line here. All right.
I can't help it.
Let's talk products. Okay, you got a product for this week that you'd like to share that you actually use and love?
Yeah, so this is a corrector, like a tooth whitening corrector that I use in the morning. Cool. Sometimes I don't use it every day, but I use it like if I notice, because I drink coffee every day and so my teeth start to get yellow.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do all the strips and stuff because they hurt my teeth.
Yeah.
And so I found this on Amazon, and there's different brands. I don't think it really matters. But you brush your teeth first with like toothpaste and do all that flossing and everything. And then you put this on, like you can either use a Q-tip or I use a different toothbrush and I just wipe it on, and then you leave it for a little while and then it corrects the color. When you take it off, it like whitens your teeth by a couple shades. It basically takes off stains and it color.
As soon as I get these bitches off, I'm going to need that. What's the name?
Yeah. So, well, this one is called Iriond. Are you coming on the podcast?
Oh my God. Oh, my beautiful girl. Hello, Olivia. Hi, my handsome boy, Bentley. Welcome to the Sisterhood. Aw, I love you so much.
She came to steal her pup.
Aw.
Who's getting cuddled.
Loves it.
Yeah, so anyhow, so this is something that I just have been using for a while in the morning time when I feel like my teeth are getting yellow from coffee.
Nice. Okay, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So
I was just get it on Amazon.
Wait, how much?
You can just get it on Amazon. I think it's like under $20 and it lasts a long time.
Jane, I literally have so many eye sticks right now from your earlier influences, and they're going in everybody's stocking.
They're great.
Okay, so I was over at Vic and Tiff's for Thanksgiving, and I had like a terrible knot in my back, like shoulder area, and I was trying to do all the things. I was like stretching it, yoga, all the things. I could not get it to come out. And Vic's like, here, try this. It is called doTERRA Deep Blue.
Okay.
I did get it on Amazon. I like the stick. Like, hang on, let me show you it. I keep the little lid on it. But you find the spot and you rub it in. It is similar to Bengay, except for I think it smells like that sweet mint gum I used to chew in the 90s. I can't remember the actual name, but it's not the
Winter Fresh,
but it was like the green one that was
spearmint.
It kind
Winter
of had a
Fresh
sweet
was the blue one,
not
and
the blue, not the dark
called...
green. There was an in between, like a blue green, and it was sweet. I don't know, like still minty, not sugary sweet, but like not so minty. I don't know how to explain it. Ooh, I just got a whiff, and it is bringing me back to the 90s. But anyways, so Vic had this stick, and Jeff put it on my shoulder. I'm not going to lie, I slept so good that night. And that was hours later that I went to sleep. $39 for this, which I think is pricey, but it's worth every penny.
Yeah,
and
I was going to say if it helps. Yeah.
It does help. And Blaine's used it a couple times for some soreness, and it helped with him too. And then I put it on Jeff's lower back the other day because he was having lower back pain, and he said it did help. He didn't love the smell as much as me, but I actually would wear this for perfume. I think it's delicious.
Right.
I now want a piece of gum that I can't chew. But anyways, yeah, so doTERRA, DOTERRA.
Okay.
Anyway, if you ever have a need for that.
Good to know.
Yeah. So what have you been listening to or watching this week?
I watched, well, I actually watched this 2 weeks ago, but I didn't get to say it on the last one, so I'm using it for this.
Definitely.
I watched one called, actually I watched two. I watched one called Time Cut with the girl from Outer Banks. And that was like a Halloween movie. But
she's from Goose Creek, the blonde?
Kiara. From Outer Banks.
Wait, was she the one with the, like, she had beautiful curly hair?
Yes.
Okay, not the girl from Goose Creek. I think her name's Madison, the blonde. She's from Goose Creek, from Outer Banks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think she lived in Clearfield.
Liv says it's Madeline.
Oh, Madeline. Okay, yeah. Anyways, carry on.
But yeah, so I watched that and it was pretty good. And if you like scary movies, but it wasn't too scary. Like, it was like a Scream type of scary. And then I just watched the other day, and I have to rewatch it because I was like cooking and meal prepping, and so I couldn't really watch because I didn't want to like lose a finger while I was cutting stuff up. But Red One.
Ooh, no.
It's like about Santa Claus, so it's like a new Christmas one. It's on Amazon. It was just in the theaters, and now it's on Amazon for free. And it was like The Rock was in it, and Chris Evans from Captain America. Lucy Liu was in it. The guy from The Closer, Will Pope.
I love I love him. Wait, her boss?
Yeah, Will Pope.
The chief? Or she's the chief? Yeah, Chief Pope. Or Pope, yeah.
Yeah. He,
he's in that commercial. Is it State Farm or something?
Yeah.
I love him.
He was also in Red One, and he was Santa Claus, and he's like jacked because he has to carry all the toys and shit. And so, but it was cute from what I saw. I just need to rewatch it so I can like really pay attention.
Yeah. Okay, well, last Sunday, me and Mom binged watched. Oh my God, we had a self-care day. We put on our face masks, and she bought these gel socks, and we sat with our face in the clay. What is it? Bentonite or whatever clay?
Yeah, bentonite.
Bentonite, yeah. And our little socks. And then we put on this show called Black Doves. I think it's on Netflix with Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
It was great. I enjoyed every ounce of it. There's some really good TV out right now, and I have a theory on that. I think it's because during COVID, everyone had to slow down.
Yeah.
And I think right now we're starting to see all the creative energy that came out of slowing down, and it's transforming into great shows, music, all the things. And that's my theory.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to save this other one for our Christmas episode because to me it touches my soul. So I'm pausing on the other thing that I've been listening to, binge listening in the morning, and it's a podcast. And that's all I'm going to say on that one. Okay. So conversations and or thought-provoking quotes or information that have made you think this week, anything like that.
Okay. You go first.
Shit, and I said it during my full moon video, but I don't care. I'm going to say it again. I also read it at dinner the other night with the ladies Tuesday night because honestly, it grounds me. I call it soul speak, but it was like a clip on TikTok where, not a clip, it was actually words that you scroll through.
Yeah.
And so I gave it that name, soul speak, but it says this: when you feel attached, tell it to fire. He is the great master of transmutation. When you feel stagnant, tell it to water. She will teach you about movement and flow. When you understand nothing, speak to air. It will bring you here and now, and clarity will come. If you want to give up, tell it to Mother Earth. She knows a thing or two about death and rebirth. Think of the seasons and our trees. If you feel like your heart is broken, talk to the moon. She will shine a light into the darkness. I feel that so hard.
Yeah.
If you feel powerless, talk to the sun. He will reignite your strength with his warm, unconditional love. I don't know. Every time like things can get overwhelming, which has not been happening to me as much now that I feel like I've added yoga to my routine, and I really literally will go stand outside and hug my tree if I start feeling Sue's my favorite tree. I'm sorry to all the other trees out there. I love you just as much, but there's something about Sue's and her energy. She's a sycamore. But
Wait,
Jane.
Jenny, you cannot say Sue's my favorite tree. I love you all very much, but Sue's is my favorite tree, but I love you all the same.
Okay. I love them all differently, similar to my children. But Sue's, there's something about hugging her. Sycamores, if they're healthy, will have nude bark. Like it's just nude. And so you're not it's very soft. And
Which one is she? I'm trying to remember.
so
What
if
does
you
a sycamore look like?
a sycamore has those giant five it's like a massive leaf.
Tree stars from
Yeah, tree
Land Before
stars.
Time.
Yeah. So they're just a beautiful tree. They're fast growers and they produce a lot of shade. And if you can keep them healthy, which generally they are pretty
They
durable.
are beautiful trees.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, because let me tell you all my trees. I have, Simone passed away, unfortunately. She was my Myers lemon. She produced us many Myers lemons for several years, and then a frost got her and we couldn't bring her back. I have since purchased Taylor Kelsey, who I planted this year. And so you feel that? And then I've got Penelope, my pear tree. Pharrell, because he's happy. He's always the first to get his leaves. Sue's, my sycamore. Richard, he's just a plain ordinary guy out in the backyard just trying to keep up with the other trees.
All the Richards are offended in life right now.
I love Richard. And I love the name Richard, especially because we get to call you Dick. I think that's a really
obviously best part.
I mean, why Richard to Dick, but whatever. OG, who I recently named because he's the only tree that survived in our yard after they created our plot of land. We had 4 trees up and 3 of the 4 died. OG, the original gangsta, just continues to thrive, and Jeff's done a lot of work to get the vines that were growing on him off of him. And Jane, he's stunning. He's the freaking most handsomest dude I've ever seen. I've got Ophelia from my 40th birthday, my orange tree that the Corleys gave me, and Ophelia is producing massive oranges. Like, we've had oranges since November. We still have oranges. I literally walk outside, grab an orange, and eat it every day. I've got Fabio, my crepe myrtle, who is a stud. He's just so handsome. He belongs on a romance novel cover. I've got Maggie, my magnolia. Nod to you, Margaret Ann Canzaro. I've got Maria, and the reason why I named her that is because she's got some Spanish moss that came with her. And Maria, Maria. You know that song?
Yes.
And then I've got my other sycamore out front, Molly K, because one time me and Jeff were at a bar in Lowell called Molly K. And I remember us chatting and we were like, if we ever have a girl, we're going to name her Molly K. I think that's wicked cute. But then we switched to bees, so that wouldn't have even happened. But anyways, my tree got named after our early talks of love affair. So those are all my trees. And 4 of them were last chance trees, meaning they were on the side of the road for $1 and they weren't doing well. And Sue's, my sycamore, was one of those.
Wow.
Yeah, Pharrell, Sue's, Richard, and Maria came from last chance. And they are freaking thriving. I love my backyard so much because of them.
Doesn't that just explain how much your environment can change your outlook?
Exactly. And then back to my Soul Speak poem. I feel like every time I get a little overwhelmed, all I have to do is step outside into what this beautiful environment offers me, and I instantly feel better. So
Yeah, I mean, go hug any of the 19 trees except obviously Richard because he's plain. But
he's just a dick. Just kidding. Just kidding. Richard, you're not a dick. Anyway, what about you,
except
Jane?
Fabio,
Fabio,
amazing.
I'm
Richard,
sorry. Me and Jeff
also
have this. He's like
crepe
my.
myrtles.
Say it
Crepe
again.
myrtles don't look female to you.
They do, but Fabio just sounded good when I planted. I'm gonna call him a him when I planted him because and he's pink. His flowers are pink, but I don't care. I think dudes look so good in pink. He just wasn't a female. He's Fabio.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
I have crepe myrtles on the back deck area. I have one, a huge one over there, and I have one up front that's huge that has been growing for years and years. And I finally just had to have them cut down. Crystal cuts hers down every year, and then they just sprout back up.
yeah.
But I had to finally have them cut down because they were the one, like when it would get windy, would hit the house.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was afraid
I
it was going
actually
to start doing
remember
damage.
it would scare me sometimes.
Yeah, and mom used to get real scared after
Yeah.
she moved in, so we ended up trimming those down.
What are
Which
their
they
names?
I don't name my trees, Jenny. I also don't hug them, so obviously mine are over here just living the saddest life.
Hug your
No
freaking
names, no
tree. At
hugs.
least talk to them.
I mean, I don't. I'm allergic to everything that grows. I don't generally spend a lot of time out in nature.
That is true. That is very true. What
Yeah,
about
like
you? Anything? Anything that you've
what?
been thinking about?
Oh, so we were having a conversation last night at dinner about optimism versus pessimism, and my boss has been reading a book and he skimmed stuff, and so he didn't really have a whole lot of details, but the gist of it was that I'm more of an optimist because you don't have to be optimistic all the time to be an optimist.
Yeah.
It's just like I do see the best in people. I do know I do that I try really hard to see the good first, and if you show me who you are, I'll believe you.
Yeah.
But my assumption at going in is like you always start with an A in my class until
Aw.
and then we got to be real about it.
Yeah. I love that.
Or not that you make a mistake, but just that, if you show me who you are character wise, that's
Yeah.
not generally just an error in judgment somewhere. That's
Yeah.
like
Our
who you are as a
energies
person
might
or
not
who you
mix.
decided to be.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh, I love that.
so yeah. So anyhow, so we were talking about that last night, and I just thought it was interesting because I think to myself, man, it must be such a, and I don't know that I think it probably could be a choice. You have to make the choice to make the adjustment, just like any other change of personality type or change, like big change in life.
Yeah.
But I think I would hate to live in a place where I always assume the worst in everybody. I think
Yeah.
I would be miserable and devastated and
I
angry.
think
And
people who do see the worst or assume the worst are living a fear-based life, and it's really got more to do with them than
Yeah.
people. And
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in you've got to love yourself first before you can love anyone else. And to me, they just have some work to do
Yeah.
internally.
And I think too, a lot of times stuff comes up from, things you've experienced maybe in childhood, and not that you can necessarily blame childhood for things, but I do think childhood sometimes explains the ripple effect of how we get places. And so there has to be a lot of self-reflection and insight and maybe therapy and working with professionals sometimes to manage how you address those things. Because if you think about, if in childhood you were abandoned, then you're gonna have
Abandonment issues. Yeah.
issues that are going to be around abandonment and how you handle that
Yeah.
depending on your personality type or whatnot, or how you feel safe or whatever. But it was an interesting conversation. And then sometimes I'm like, I think back and I'm like, in my own mind, talking through stuff like that, I enjoy it and I learn from it, and it makes me sometimes see other people's perspectives, which
Yeah.
I like to do when I can. But then later I'm like, I wonder if that was interesting to everybody else the way it is to me.
Yeah.
Because I find that type of stuff fascinating, but not everybody
And
else.
maybe people have to be open to being, thinking about things like that. I find that fascinating too. I also agree. I find when I was actually driving Jeff to the golf course this morning, and one of my favorite things is driving home by myself and just jamming to music and thinking. And I found myself saying out loud, every human has a gift. And then I just kept saying it. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm so emotional today. And I shouldn't be, but I just feel happy. Anyway, and I truly believe that because I think everyone I encounter has something to offer. And I always try to see what their gifts are.
Yeah, you got to find it
Yeah.
sometimes. I used to, well, that was something I think I took from Elmcrest was, and that was something that I would always try to do or get tasked with is like we would sometimes have really, really difficult kids that we were working with, and it was based on their experiences. A lot of their stuff was, basically just survival.
Yeah.
They were in survival mode, and so a lot of the behaviors that we were seeing were based around that. And so I would do these team meetings and I remember people would be so fed up because the stuff they were putting up with day after day
Yeah.
and they were that was valid. They had a right to feel that way. But I would always say like we can find one thing. Like whatever the one thing is, that kid has a strength. That kid has something that we can love about him or her.
Yeah.
I was working with boys. So let's find that one thing and that's what we'll focus on for now. And as we build the relationship, hopefully more stuff will come up and
And the
some of the
trust.
negative behaviors will go down and some of the positive stuff will go up and then you can really build something long term and lasting. But in the beginning it was like sometimes finding that one thing was real hard, especially when you had somebody who was super reactive and really aggressive and doing horrible things and wanting to
Surviving.
stick you and
Yeah.
calling you names and doing anything they could to push you away.
Yeah.
That's what they knew. So
Not to compare it to dogs, but I am. So you think about, I don't know if you see my TikToks and Facebook reels and all that shit is like flooded with animal stories. And I always love when an animal is rescued from the pound, even though I think the pound does great things as long as they're not putting dogs to sleep, which
yeah, like
I
no kill shelter,
no
right?
kill shelters. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and when people film like the ride home versus a month later after they've gotten established and they're comfortable and you can just the dog is a totally different personality because they were
Yeah.
surviving,
Yeah.
and now they're feeling loved and
Yeah.
supported and it's
Yeah.
just amazing to see their personalities shine through.
I don't know why those come up on my timeline all the time. Like sometimes I'll see one and I'll be crying and Olivia's like, "What are you crying about again?" And I'll be like, "Watch this." And she's like, "No, I don't want to see that."
Well,
Because it's over like the ones where the dogs like won't let go of the person's
oh,
arm all
I
the way
know.
home and I'm like crying and
Jane, that's a
I feel so
superpower.
overwhelmed.
That's a super
I also, what fucking formula decided I need to see that kind of stuff?
It's an
Really?
algorithm and maybe because your dog is your son.
Yeah, could be. I mean, but I'm
But
like, here's the thing. Maybe like give me if you want to cry today, click on this one.
yeah,
And you can watch all the
exactly.
sad reels. But if you don't want to cry today, maybe we stay away from that one.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know. I'm sure they'll get to that point in these situations.
So,
All right, Jane. Taylor Swift song focused lyrics. Oh, I do have a little bit that I need to talk about with Taylor Swift um, before we get to our song. But
okay.
so Brody walks in the house the other night. The garage door was shut, and
Yeah.
I got to show you this, which is a
Ooh.
Taylor Swift VIP Eras Tour box. Was
Okay.
laying against our garage with a card. I'm going to open the card. My neighbor, who lives next door, obviously, she's an introvert from my observation. And I've had a couple conversations with her. I'm not going to use her name because, again, I believe she's an introvert and that would not be nice, just in
Yeah.
case. But I'll check with her. But anyway, and really why I wanted to check with her is because my house is full of chaos. We have kids in and out all the time. And Brody's at that age, they're partying and they're in the side yard a lot, which is right next to her house, and playing cornhole and, doing their thing, blasting music, which typically, by the way, is from the 80s and the 90s. So you're welcome. They have great taste in music. And so I just wanted to check with her and make sure, hey, you might not be comfortable telling us, but if we're ever bothering you, all you have to do is say something. I realize we're a lot. And she's like, no. She's like, I enjoy it. She's like, every now and then they're throwing a baseball and it's hitting my house. And she's like, that makes me a little, and I'm like, say less. That will not happen again. But anyways, she gave us a card and it said, happy holidays. You guys are honestly the best neighbors I've ever had.
Aww.
I had no idea she felt like that. So thank you. Your family is great. I hope all of you have a Merry Christmas and amazing New Year. Hope you're staying warm these holidays. P.S. Taylor Swift box is mostly for Jenny.
Of course.
I saw the outfit hanging up outside. Very cute. Jeff washed my romper and hung it up in the garage for natural wind.
Yeah.
I went to the Indianapolis show myself. Unsure if you got the VIP and already got this box, but I figured you would enjoy it.
Aww.
Literally, I'm choked up again. Like, I cannot believe someone this is her VIP box, and she gave it to me, and she spelled my name out, so it's me. But I want to just show you. I'll try to be quick. It came with posters.
Awesome.
It came with a t-shirt.
Wow.
It came with postcards to send to people. It came with the lanyard, the VIP lanyard. This could not have been. I can't imagine the money she dropped, because I know what I dropped, and I did not get VIP, but close. So thank you, honey. I love you so much. Thank you for doing that. But most favorite thing, which is going on my romper, a pin, the Air of Pure pin. So literally, the reason Brody brought it in.
You might want to keep that whole box together as like a collector's item.
I know. I thought about that. That's why I haven't put the pin on my romper yet, because I'm debating. But look, even the inside of the box is...
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
It is so beautiful. And, like, every time I think about that someone would do that, like, I know if she bought VIP, she's a freaking diehard Swiftie. And, like, to give, you know, and speak so kindly about our family, when I also know how hard it is to live next door to us. We're not a cakewalk over here.
What if you got one of those shadow boxes and you opened it up so you could see everything?
Yeah.
And you put it in the shadow box, because that would keep like dust and stuff off of it.
Mom had the same idea.
Display everything.
Mom literally said the same thing.
Yeah.
I have to like come out of the emotion of it first and figure out what I want to do with it. And the other thing I thought about is like, I feel bad saying I got to get you a gift because you got me a gift, but like I have to do something for her. And my friend Karen, hang on, I'm going to grab it. Who I work with, her daughter is super, super creative. And she sent me this. Pardon me. It's the Taylor Swift hands.
That's so
the heart
cute.
hands. And I was thinking maybe I could have her make me one of these. And because clearly if she's not keeping her VIP box, maybe she's a minimalist or doesn't love to have a ton of stuff. But like, I keep this in my window. I love it so much. And I was like, maybe I could do something like that for her.
Yeah.
Obviously a thank you card. And I realize, even being an introvert, I'm going to have to give her a bear hug. And there might be some tears, but
well, you can always start with, I so badly want to give you a hug. Is that okay?
Yeah. True. I do always ask. I don't just hug. I say, I'm a hugger. Are you okay with that?
Are you okay with that?
Yeah. But, all right. So anyway, that was very
awesome.
To me. I felt the end of my family. I mean, even Brody was a little emotional, like, just like, Mom. And I'm like, you just never know how people really feel, you know? Yeah. I love her energy. I think by the way, she has a dog named Duncan, who looks like Boise, and I swear to God, Boise thinks it's her boyfriend. This is the only dog we've ever lived next door to that the girls do not bark at. They love him. They go over and they walk the fence. Huh?
They should have play dates.
I know. The thing is, Bloom is so reactive. I always worry. But this opens a door. I feel like we've got a door opened, and I hope I can just... kind of become, I would love to be friends with her. I feel like we're friends. Obviously we're Swifties, and that takes it to a new level. But she also told me she likes my taste in music. Okay.
Let me focus on all the compliments my way. I don't know if you guys heard this one yet.
Jane.
Let me reiterate.
Okay, so we have to give a shout out to Amanda, one of our friends from high school. And me and Jane have been chatting with her in Facebook Messenger, and for our Taylor Swift focused lyrics this week, we have chosen Exile in Amanda's honor. Do also want to shout out, it's Jeff's favorite song. It came off the Folklore album, which was our COVID getaway that we would enjoy in the hot tub. Hang on, you know what I need to get?
Oh God, not the microphone.
Seriously, though, you could take this entire song and just read through it. It is.
Yeah.
Ooh, no one touched my microphone. Woohoo! But it's called Exile, and Bon Iver, another wonderful singer, is sings in it. It's a duet, and okay, so Jane, I'll go first with my favorite part.
Okay.
I can see you staring, honey, like he's just your understudy. Like you'd get your knuckles bloody for me. Woo! Goddamn. Second, third, and 100 chances. Balancing on breaking branches. Those eyes add insult to injury. Okay, that's that verse. And then this is the other verse that I love. Jane, if you know it and can harmonize with me, I'd appreciate that.
I think I cannot.
Okay, hang on. Okay. Wait, I gotta get the beat again. All this time, I never learned to read your mind. Never learned to read your mind. I couldn't turn things around. You never turn things around. Because you never gave a warning sign. I gave so many signs. So many signs. So many signs. I could not be a singer. You didn't even see the signs. That song will literally bring you to your knees, but it's to me about breakup.
Yeah, I think what's most fascinating about that song is that two people singing at first opposites, his experience and her experience.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of saying the same things, but it's his experience and her experience.
Yeah.
And they're still different. And so he's saying there's no signs. You didn't give me any signs. And she's saying I gave so many signs.
So many signs. I give you
think it
all the
just speaks
signs. Yeah.
I think it just speaks to how different people's experiences are. And, I can just speak to feeling unheard in relationships.
Yeah.
And that is what it feels like. It's like, how many more times do I have to say it? I'm like holding up a neon sign and you're not hearing any of it.
Yeah.
Or you're not changing it because it really doesn't matter to you. And that's fine. But I think that is a very, I think real, again, always, but real experience. And I think it is a really interesting way to do it, to have the duet. And he has such a male strong voice.
Oh, I know. I love it. It's so gritty.
It makes it even hit home more.
Yeah.
But I think most people, and probably when you hear the two perspectives, people always walk away from, especially when relationships don't work out, walk away feeling like their perspective was they were unheard.
Yeah.
And the other side maybe was like, I didn't even see this coming. This is
Yeah.
new information to me. So yeah, it's definitely one of those songs that makes you think. And I liked her leaving out the side door. Like,
oh yeah. So I'm leaving out the side door.
Mic drop. She's out.
I know. You know what? This is probably one of the songs in a handful of songs that actually make me appreciate breakups, because there is a point where you do have to realize, because I want love to last always, but like there's a point where a relationship literally needs to move on. Yeah, exactly.
I saw a video this morning, and it was a video of a guy helping a little kid like get his medicine, and the little boy was saying to him like, "Grape's my favorite," and the guy was like, "Oh, that's great, you can take the grape," and the little boy was so excited, and he was like, "I'm just gonna drink it real quick," and that like they were having this super cute interaction, and the top of it said, "When your ex-husband is the best funkle on the planet."
Aww.
Like, and so he was having this whole communication with this little boy, which was not his son, which was his ex-wife's son.
Yeah.
And her husband was in the background making jokes about him. And so they just had this great interaction. And I think somebody had commented, they should still be married if he's that, great of a guy and he's that involved. And somebody else had said, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like, sometimes you're better off friends, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, that was such a mature approach. I feel like that's what I aspire to be in relationships that didn't work out, is like, it doesn't have to be nasty. It doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be this drama. Sometimes it is. I get it. Tensions run high.
Yeah.
Especially if you feel like you've been incredibly wronged. I get that there's a lot of anger behind it, but I think if we can just all agree to, sometimes there's seasons where you're together for a season and
Yeah.
then that's over and it's time to move on. And it doesn't have to be in with hate and anger and,
It can
bloodlust.
be with love.
Yeah, it can
And
just be
sometimes
with
it
like,
takes time to get it to that point. Like,
right,
you might
right,
need to let the temperatures drop and actually
right.
find yourself because, when
Yeah.
you're in a relationship, sometimes you can lose yourself.
You can get tunnel vision. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, anyways, Amanda, love that song
Great
so
song.
much. Yeah.
Sad, but great song.
It's in my Witchy Vibes playlist for JennyB, in case
Oh, is
anyone.
it?
Yeah, for sure. It is one of my favorite duets she does.
Yeah.
Um, all
I
right.
saw her. I saw her witch thing came up the other day, and I was cracking up when you were like my witch playlist, and you started doing some move.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, what is happening?
Oh, that was
You guys
this
see my
move. That's
playlist?
called
I
the
was like,
Season of the Witch. That is
yeah.
my all time favorite witch anthem
I was
song.
cracking up,
I
but
actually made the girls listen to it the other night. The moon was still out. Blair was driving. She's an excellent driver.
right.
We had your kind of roof, like the double roof on the
Yeah,
top.
that
You could see
goes
the
way
moon
back.
up top, and I put on Seasons of the Witch, and some of them hadn't heard it before. Some of them knew exactly what song it was, and I got my freaking jam on in the backseat, and it was wonderful.
I bet you did.
All right, Jane, what's a promise you have or going to make and keep to yourself for this coming week? Let's have a
Nothing
Christmas
new.
promise.
A Christmas. I'm gonna wait. I'm not changing anything because we're about to hit the end of the year, and so
Yeah.
I'll do my January like refresh start stuff. So for right now, it's just the same as it's been.
Okay, awesome. Me and Dina, my girl that I ride with pretty much at least a couple times a week, one of my best friends, and she's out in California. So her ass, when I'm getting on, at a regular time in the morning, she's on at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So like, girls die hard. But anyway, we've been chatting, and so because dry January is coming up, and that's where I like to reset my discipline. We decided what we're going to do for the next 2 weeks is the Dirty 30, and we're doing 30-minute rides Monday through Friday, and then whatever we want to do on the weekend. But I'm going to keep to 30 because we try. Usually, what we do is we do at least 160, sometimes two, one or two 45s, and one or two 30s, whatever we. And we'll get back into that in January. But today is the first day of winter.
Yeah.
And winter is a time of rest. That's why bears hibernate and people feel tired. And, the sun goes down earlier and you really are supposed to sleep more. That's like what your body needs. And so we're going to take it down to the Dirty 30 and just do 30-minute rides for the rest of the year. And we've already got our ride scheduled out for this week to come.
Yeah.
And going to do the same thing next week. And then again, I've actually upped my yoga. I was doing 3 days a week. I've done yoga every day this week. I did yoga every day last week, and I'm going to continue that through the new year. And I'll figure out what I'm going to do January, what that schedule is going to look like. Because if I up my biking, something's got to give. I can't do all the things all the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like the start of winter, rest being so important, slowing down for the holiday season, Dirty 30, and adding the yoga is just a really good way to end 2024.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds good.
yeah. All right, Jane. Well, we made it. 58 minutes, so we're still under an hour. It was a good one. I felt the energy. I love you so much. Glad we got to see an appearance of the lovely Olivia.
Yeah.
Little Bentley. And then we'll catch up probably later today. Who knows? But we'll catch up. I hope you have a great day.
You too.
Okay. Love you long time. Bye.
All right.